we're starting this day off right. He's chugging the maple syrup, and we got eggs, meat, French toast, and more eggs and meat. After breakfast, we headed to the studio and got talking about the Lego City, of course. First things first, came up with a pretty good idea here. Kevin was saying that got a lot of boats, going to need a lot of room for boats, and maybe this isn't enough water for boats. But look, there's a half base plate that's open right here. And then this is a 1.5 base plate. So that's 2 base plates. So if I wanted to, I could take the water and just expand it to 4 base plates deep. And that's going to give us more room for boats right here in the harbor. And then the train yard will probably be where this black brick is. So right here on this seam up to here. So then we'll have boatyard and train yard. And my goal is to raise all this up with mills, probably about 3, maybe 4 bricks. Because the reality is when you have like a mammoth of a boat like this, it's going to look a little bit ridiculous in this boatyard. So you either need to not use boats like this, I guess, or increase the size of the water. And luckily for me, I've got the space to increase it, so I may as well make it larger. And then I also read a comment this morning about the train station here, and the Bearded Brick Builder, I believe it was, brought up a pretty good point. What I could do, rather than having the train track switch here, is I could just have a separate line going into the train station, and that separate line can circle around the residential area. But then I was thinking, well, maybe it could be better than just the residential area. This separate line can go around the entire amusement park area. Because remember, I actually used to have a amusement park line and also the city line, and there was the train going around the amusement park. Well, now it can actually just go around the amusement park, pass underneath the mountain over here, and then pop out from underneath the mountain through one of the raised platform coverings right there, and then there will be 2 lines that actually go through this train station. One, which is connected to the city line and goes that way, and then the other, which services the amusement park area and also the amusement park. It's the following day. I'm actually editing this video right now. I'm not supposed to be working. Don't tell anybody. I'm working. Uh-oh. But I've been reading comments from the video where I introduced these bridges for the boardwalk, the train, and also the road bridge. And I connected the canal to the actual ocean. And there's been some comments saying that maybe I should try and increase the size of the arches because it doesn't really look that realistic, and boats should be able to go from the ocean to the canal that I plan to build over here. And the canal is probably going to be like 16 studs wide in some areas, and it might vary. Some places might be 14 studs, 12 studs, 16 studs, because I want to make it look pretty cool with some angles and everything. But maybe these arches here under the bridge, or under the road, under the train, and underneath the boardwalk should match the width of the canal and be raised up so that boats can actually pass through. And of course, that would increase the width of this water as well. Now, the issue is I'd have to raise up these arches, probably like make them 3 bricks taller, which of course would skew this. Then this would become a lot taller here for the actual boardwalk, and I'd have to transition it with like slopes like that so wheelchairs can go up and down, or curved slopes or something like that. Also, the train would have to come up another 3 bricks, so I'd have to start this elevation further back, which isn't a big deal, but I do have a curve on the far end over here. So I am considering that. Of course, this would all have to be rebuilt to accommodate a wider arch and also a taller arch so that boats can pass through it and enter the canal. But it's just something that I've got to think about, and I definitely will try something in regards to that, because I do think that it is a really cool idea, and I do think that boats should be able to flow from the ocean into the canal. See, here's all the boats that I currently have in my collection. They do a pretty good job of filling up all this water here, even with those additional base plates. And then once I get some more structure in here for the boatyard, whether it be like more docks protruding out and start to just develop the harbor, it's going to take up more space. And if I want to get more Lego boats or experiment with building custom Lego boats, well, this area could get filled up quite quickly. And I think that's more than enough space for the train yard because for the most part, it's just going to be like parked rolling stock and all that. So the next thing I did is I actually grabbed all these little tiny pieces here because I need to continue working on this little angled boardwalk extension here. And in order to do that, I need all the little pieces to add the greebling. I've been searching for a new chair. Look at that. It has a blanket on it for extra comfort. Out with the old and in with the new. This is the Flexi Spot C7, the best ergonomical office chair I have ever used. This chair can accommodate you in so many different ways. You can recline and you can also adjust the intensity of that recline by spinning a dial. You can also lock it in position. The armrest can be raised, lowered, and also tilted. The headrest can be raised and lowered, and it also tilts as well for maximum comfort. And of course, you can adjust the height of the chair as well. You can go up and down, and you can make things extra comfortable by adjusting the tilt of the seat and also the position of the seat as it can slide forward and backward. The lumbar support is absolutely incredible. It is adaptive, or it can be locked into a position. The C7 and other ergonomical office fixtures can be found on flexispot.com. The C7 comes with many different options, such as the footrest so you can fall asleep at work, and they offer other affordable ergonomical options, such as the C5. The chairs are designed for all heights, can support up to 320 pounds. They have a 30-day free return and a 10-year warranty. If you're interested in the C7, you can check out flexispot.com and you can save $30 upon checkout by using discount code C730. All the details are in the pinned comment and description below. Honestly, I've gone through so many office chairs, and this is by far the most comfortable one I have ever sat in, which of course is extremely important when you're building Lego, gaming, or doing any type of desk work. And I didn't feature this in yesterday's video where I got this little train bridge. Didn't feature the actual train going over top. No problem. There was also another comment that said, I need to switch this track. You're right. That's switching the wrong way. The straight part should continue onto the city line, and the part that like veers off should go into the train yard. Now this just makes more sense. Doesn't lose power around that corner before it hits the slight grade onto the ballast lines. Makes sense. And then this switch can just curve and break into more lines as it proceeds into the train yard to service the freight lines and also the boatyard. It's funny, when I wrapped up yesterday's video, I think I had this misaligned. There was like this weird 1x2 that was like sticking out off the edge. It was like inset one stud this way, so I had to move this whole piece right here that way so it actually lines up with this. And then there's the greebling. Fun work, but it looks so good in the end. And the brick building biker, he just fixed up the Lego trucks. He's been admiring them there. So he's got the mega Lego store delivery happening here. That looks a little bit better, all plated and tiled off. Now that it's installed, all I've got to do is blend in this angle right here. And I'm going to do that the same way that I did this one. So I've got another one of these big triangular plates. And I should be able to just put it like that. That's going to leave a 1x gap right there, and I'll just fill that in and then put another hinge there, and it should all work out quite nicely. It's actually easier than I thought. I just had to put a brick and 2 plates under there. That supported the 1x8 tile, also the triangular plate. You don't need a hinge connector there because it works out just beauty. I've got to find some triangular tiles so I can blend that in, and then I need to find more inverted slopes, because when I bring the inverted slopes up to here and right to the edge like that, it's pretty much going to blend in when I do it here too. So that'll blend in quite nicely, especially when I get it tiled off. And now I'm starting to work on the connecting sidewalk over here, because if there's a sidewalk that connects to this one and then eventually connects to the boardwalk over here, and this is just like a nice sidewalk area, would look pretty cool, especially if I put like a little seating area for the cafe right there. I plated off this water, so the angled boardwalk is just going to sit on top of the water. You can see there's the dark gray and the light gray. I'm running out of the greebling parts, so like the 1x1 plates, the 1x2 modified plates, the 1x1 circular studs, all that stuff. So it's not going to look as greebled as this, but eventually I'll get more, and I could make that swap if I really wanted to. And I still need the tiles to go on here. That's why there's a little bit of a gap there. And I also started filling in the green on this side so it matches up there. And now I can just finish this sidewalk off and add the green plate here as well. So this is all nice and sort of starting to come together. However, it will never truly be done until these tiles arrive. I need to decide if I want to change up some of these for dark blue. Like I could do a small section so we could have a look at it. I've got some 1x4s and I just need to decide whether or not I want to use a combination of light and dark blue. See, I just don't think that's right. Like that doesn't look that good, and I'm not talking about those Crocs down there.
These are awesome Crocs. What about the socks? Oh, I even got Fry Guy socks on.
He's got the Crocs, he's got the socks. But yeah, I just don't think the dark blue transitions in well with the light blue. I think it needs to all be light blue, and the color variation needs to be done with the underlying plate. The only place I can get away with using the dark blue is probably in the harbor. So it's funny because at the end of my day yesterday, I came up with like this angle and the concept, and I think it was like 20 minutes to 6 when I was leaving the studio here. And then I was thinking to myself, okay, well maybe I can just like crush out the details. I could start adding the plate for the water and for the grass, and I can get the wet texture going there for the rock work and tile it all off and work the connection point and get these angles and everything. And it's like, oh my gosh, that just took me like about 2 hours. And it's like, yeah, good thing I didn't do that yesterday because I would have missed the stellar hockey game. Like what a performance by the Oilers last night. That was pretty awesome. But look at that. We've got these nice angled plates right here to taper in the sidewalk. This just is pretty much perfect. There's a little bit of a gap there. But yeah, this just has a little bit of movement because the height of the underlying plate here isn't tall enough. I need to add just a tile to make up the difference. And it's the same with this side. So if I add a tile there, once again, when I add the water, it's gonna make up that height difference. But once again, it is tacked down in the corners using hinge bricks. Man, I've sort of let things get a little bit messy here in the Lego studio. We've got like part bins and parts and just like boxes full of stuff everywhere. But I'm just getting ready to do a bunch of shipping here on this beautiful Sunday, which is technically Father's Day. But once again, I'm celebrating Father's Day tomorrow. Also, I've got to do some editing as well. And I think so far so good. Like managed to accomplish quite a bit. I like the idea for expanding the boatyard. I think that's really good. I think we'll be able to create some really fantastic looking water there. I was thinking too that I actually have some trans dark blue cheese slopes that I found on the pad wall. And I could maybe do some really nice textured water over here in the harbor. I saw somebody create like a giant ocean using those trans dark blue cheese slopes, like an entire ocean using those, and it was actually a really nice texture. And I managed to lay down a bunch of this plate here. The story of my life is part shortages, so I'm out of like the 1x1 blue plates. I've even been digging through all my unsorted stuff and trying to pull out as many as I can, like that one right there. But I know I'm going to have to order probably a couple, I don't know, maybe like 1,000, I guess, a few hundred, 500, 600, 700, just to make sure I get this all textured correctly. Because once you put the tiles down, well, it sort of locks it in place. And if you want to improve the look of it, well, then you got to take all the tiles off. So you may as well do it right in the first place. So I'm going to have to order some more of those. And I also got to get a few more of these triangular tiles and then get some 1x1s and once again those inverted slopes, and also either the 1x2 tiles, which I ran out of the other day, 1x2 plates, or the like modified 1x4s with the 2 studs, like those right there, just to continue that design all the way along. And I may as well tile this off as well today. Ooh, I think that's super satisfying. There is no handrail yet. Don't have the inverted slopes. Also, I need to find one more of these. That doesn't look nearly as good as that. I like that though. That's pretty cool. There will have to be a train track crossing for pedestrians, probably right here where this sidewalk crossing is, or the crosswalk. And then another one here, I would imagine, or somewhere over here. And then one over here as well. So there will be ways to access this boardwalk, which does connect to the beach boardwalk. Yeah, it's all coming together over here. That's sweet. Wait till we get the veg added there too, the vegetation. Oh yeah, that's going to be beauty. Now I was thinking the water in here probably should be maybe a little bit murky. I'm thinking like a dark tan underlay. The dark tan is like that color, maybe like dark tan, dark green, like those earthy colors in the canal. That might look pretty cool. And I have decided, I was talking about it the other day, that I will be raising up those buildings around to town hall. That's going to be cool. And now I need to get a bunch of dark gray brick, like 2x brick. I've got a bunch of them upstairs, and start to create my rock work here. But I've got to take care of some editing and some shipping before I get too far ahead of myself today. That is just like a bigger priority over working on the Lego City, unfortunately. I know the Lego City should be my number one priority, but shipping people's mail is just more urgent. Lego delivery. What else was Kevin up to? He was like pulling out all these minifigures. He found all these minifigures on top of the Ghostbusters HQ and pulled them all out. And he's probably just leaving them there, hinting to me like, hey man, you should probably set up like a cool Spider-Man scene. Like, what are you doing? That should be your top priority, not shipping. I sort of agree. I got to get this scene and city set up, you know? Like, we've got to get going on this, that's for sure. And there was something else that he did. Oh yeah, he found this vehicle. It was all busted up during the move, and he repaired it. So there you go, fire brigade vehicle back. What time is it here? Oh, it's coffee o'clock, right? Let's brew a coffee and do some shipping. Oh my gosh, the shipping boxes are down here. Why go up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs? It's the packing supply room, but all we need is that box. So I actually need to go to Southgate Mall because that's where they have an espresso store and pick myself up some more coffee. Running a bit low here, or I could just order it online too, but I want to go to Southgate because they have a Lego store there and I need more green plate. I did find some on Bricklink. I was looking last night. No, it's too full. Get in there, you. But I was looking on Bricklink, and there's a guy in the States that has them for 11 cents. So I messaged him and say, hey, how much would it cost to ship 1 or 2 or 3,000 green plates for my city? How much would it cost? Because I need that many 4x4 green plates just so I can start to work on this area and pretty much all the areas of the city. Not a bad view. Hey there, spaceman. Look, there's what we were working on today. This is my phone camera. It's not very good. What I should do is whip up my camcorder that has like the crazy zoom, and we could just like get right in the city from like anywhere in the studio. Like we could be like sharpshooting from anywhere. The zoom on that thing is just wild. I also have this crazy camera at home. I keep forgetting to bring it here. It's called Instago 360, Instago X3 or something like that. And it's got like the invisible selfie stick that's like 15 feet long. You can like put it way up in the air, and it looks like you're like flying a drone. It's got like these crazy shots. We could get some pretty snazzy ones of the Lego City, and that would be cool. I also have a drone here too. I've got a DJI Spark, I think it is. I bought it, I don't know, probably like 7 or 8 years ago, and it's got like this super steady like slow mode where it can just fly very slow, and you get some really cool aerial shots of the city. But I just don't think the city's like in a state right now where I need to be doing aerial shots of it. There's really not much to see right now, so that's sort of why I haven't done that, but I really should do it because it would be pretty cool. So I smashed that coffee while shipping and editing and uploading, so that was all taken care of. But now the issue is it's almost that time of day where I gotta go home, because time flies when you're building Lego. But after I got that shipping and editing done, I started working on the rock detail, and I'm just crushing out some slopes right now. I'm just laying them down, some slope work on this rock detail. And that's on the little corner 1.5 by 1 base plate section that I have right here next to the boardwalk. So our household is going through a little bit of a difficult time right now just because Jose is recovering from surgery, and that's why I have to be there helping with the kids more than I already do. And she's only got one of 2 wrists done right now. And when she gets the other one done, she's going to be out 2 hands for a long period of time. So that's one of the reasons why I can't spend as much time building the Lego city as I would like. But it's all for the greater good, because Jose is no longer going to be dealing with the pain of carpal tunnel surgery, or carpal tunnel surgery and carpal tunnel in general in the near future, which is exciting. But check out this rock work. So we've got the connecting boardwalks there. Oh man, that looks cool. And then the other day I slid over 1.5 base plates when I built this for some rock work. And I was like, yeah, I think this is going to be a nice little cove right here. I think that's a cool like U-shaped cove. I laid down some brick. There's some colorful brick underneath there supporting all that 2x dark gray brick. Then I put some dark tan down, like wet sand almost. And my plan is to build this up a little bit and then have like a flat spot where people can like walk out and maybe do some really cool fishing or something, and then have the rock work go back up there. But I laid the brick, and now I'm just trying to add some slopes and everything to get that texture, and then of course I can go through, add cheese slopes, and just sort of deck out this rock work. But I think it's a cool little cove, and it just sort of breaks up the boardwalk feel. Now, I always try and read a vast majority of the comments. It's impossible for me to read and respond to them all. Otherwise, I'd just be reading and responding to comments all day. That's all my job would be, reading and responding to comments. But some comments have been suggesting that I don't build enough Lego as of late. And I'm trying to do my best here to build this Lego city as quickly as I possibly can. Just like I've been mentioning, some things like this, like building these roads and adding these like thousands of parts to these really detailed sections of the city, it just takes time. And you know, I'm juggling a lot of things right now. You know, a father of twins, Jose's surgery specifically right now. Then I do a lot of things on the side. Like I run a Whatnot auction every couple weeks, so I've got to do the shipping and everything for that. And then I also edit all these videos, film all these videos. So I was thinking, the reality is if I wanted to make videos that were just specifically about Lego and cut out all the vloggy goodness that Bricksie does, that's what I enjoy to do, is the vloggy goodness, I would have to reduce my upload schedule to probably 3 times a week, so then I can produce long videos that are 100% about Lego. But I also think the vloggy goodness is good because it just shows you a little bit of the behind the scenes of my life, which I enjoy to share with you, and I think a lot of you actually enjoy it as well. And also, it just sort of shares my process, rather than just presenting the final result of this to you. I sort of walk through how I taught myself how to do that. And I had to teach myself. I didn't know how I was going to do that. So I just sort of shared the process over the last couple of videos of how I went about doing that. So if you wanted to try and replicate it, you could. And I'm honestly, genuinely learning how to do a lot of this stuff. And I'm sharing it with you here on my videos, vlog style, because I'm not just a Lego builder, I'm a vlogger. You know, you get a little bit of both on this channel. I enjoy vlogging, that's sort of my vibe. And I also Jordan. And I also enjoy building Lego. That was dyslexia, wow. All right. So it's not quite done yet, but that's our little cove, the Bricksie Cove, we'll call it. I like that because we got the higher rocks over there, a little bit higher rocks over there, a point where you can walk down and access this little tiny beach. Of course, the water, not tiled off yet, but I think once that gets tiled off and we add some waves, it'll look pretty good. Want to add some more slopes, more cheese slopes, more dark tan, maybe some like little rocks using 1x1 studs and plates and all that. But I'm really happy with the start of that. I think it looks pretty cool. Of course, I managed to cook up a nice mess here today. Oh yeah, daily, I tell you, daily. But we got some beautiful rocks, and the boardwalk is connected to the beach boardwalk. This is looking pretty cool too. The water's flowing underneath the train bridge and underneath the boardwalk there into the canal. And this angle is just popping. I love that. Very cool. I can't wait to continue here in the near future, which is, of course, tomorrow. No, actually not tomorrow, because I'm going to the zoo tomorrow with the kids. But yeah, today's Sunday, which is Father's Day, and Jose and I planned that we would do Father's Day tomorrow, which is Monday, and we're bringing the kids to the zoo. And then also, just due to some schedule conflicts with my family, the Father's Day dinner that we're going to have is actually tomorrow as well. So it just sort of worked out. I could come here and continue working on the city. So I've got to say my goodbyes here. Goodbye, Lego City. I'll see you in 2 days. We'll continue working on stuff later. Oh, man. I love that. I love the direction that we're heading here, though. This is just looking fantastic. Maybe now that I've started the rock work over here, I need to work on connecting this rock work over here on Tuesday. So I guess with that, everybody, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future. Farewell.